The Knicks have until November 5th before they have to finalize this roster. And according to reports, the Knicks are going to wait as long as possible before they add players to this team. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are the Knicks going to do that? Why would they take the risk and not add any one of these free agents that have been linked to them recently? Because if they wait, it's likely that another team could add them to their roster. Well, according to these reports, the main reason the Knicks are waiting has to do with financial purposes. We're going to break down all of these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks are waiting to finalize this roster. New York has been linked to a number of free agents. We're talking about Lonnie Walker. We're talking about Matt Ryan. We're talking about Justin Holiday. About every free agent that's a shooter and has size that's available right now, they have been linked to. But the Knicks have not pulled the trigger on adding any one of them to this team. They haven't even converted their rookie, Ariel Hukporti, who's on a two-way contract, to a standard NBA deal. And I've been wondering, why have they been waiting? What is the holdup? Why are they not making those moves right now? Well, according to Ian Begley, an SNY NBA insider, he recently revealed that the number one reason why the Knicks are waiting has to do with financial purposes. Let's break down these latest reports from Begley. According to Begley, the Knicks currently have 12 players on standard contracts. They can have fewer than 14 players on standard deals for no longer than 14 consecutive days and no more than 28 total days in a season. So New York has to add 2 players by no later than November 5th. If the Knicks convert rookie Ariel Hukporti to a standard deal on November 5th, it lowers his salary. If they wait until November 5th to sign a veteran free agent, they'd sign that player to a reduced salary. For example, if they convert Hukporti and sign another veteran on November 5th, they would spend roughly $250,000 less than if they made those same moves on opening night. In this new CBA world, every dollar counts. Begley continues here by stating, the Knicks can also sign a player to a non-guaranteed deal to get to 14 players, and then waive the player one day later to restart the clock with the 14-man roster minimum rule. In this instance, the player would have to count for 3 days of service on the team. The Knicks would only be responsible in this situation for the player's prorated salary based on the days of service. In this situation, it would be 3 days. In this scenario, they could keep a roster spot open for Shamet and also gain some short-term space under the second apron. If they waited another 2 weeks to sign a veteran, that veteran would have a smaller prorated salary as well too. Shout out to Ian Begley for giving us the following updates on the Knicks and what they're planning to do with their roster. I actually have no problem at all with the Knicks waiting just to save some money under the second apron. All of this sounds like the magic of Brock Aller, our capologist. He has been looking out for the Knicks and trying to save us money at each and every turn. And now it looks like he's trying to do the same thing again. It may not sound like a lot of money. It may sound like a small amount in the grand scheme of the NBA. But for the Knicks, with the new CBA, trying to stay under the second apron, every single dollar counts. And if the Knicks want to wait before they convert Ariel Hukporti, before they sign Matt Ryan or Lonnie Walker or one of these other veterans, I have no problem at all with them doing that because it doesn't hurt them. It sounds like it only helps them, and they only have to wait a few more days before they make that decision. And honestly, the more they wait, you never know what could happen. Maybe another free agent pops his head out, and he's somebody the Knicks want to go after. You never know what player could be available and what player the Knicks want to add to this team. But it's clear, they're not looking for centers. They're looking for veterans. Veterans who can shoot. Veterans who can shoot that have some size. Look at Lonnie Walker, 6'4". He can shoot the three. Matt Ryan, 6'6". He can shoot the three. Justin Holiday, 6'6". He can shoot the three. You see a pattern here, ladies and gentlemen? Because I do. They're targeting veterans with experience who can shoot and take advantage of exactly what this Knicks roster can give you. Because the way this Knicks team plays, they will penetrate, break down the defense inside, and then create. That means if you're at the perimeter, if you're at the corner, wherever you're at on the floor, if you're open, you're likely going to get the ball, and it's going to be an open look for you. And for a player like Matt Ryan, who is near automatic from three, if he's open, the Knicks are always going to get the advantage, and that's how you have an impact coming off of the bench. That's what I want to see the Knicks do. That's how I want to see the Knicks utilize this roster, by signing players and adding players that they can actually use during the game. Matt Ryan off the bench with either the bench unit or some of the starters sounds deadly. You're always going to have to put a defender near him, because if you leave him, he's an automatic three. These are the type of players Leon Rose and this Knicks front office need to target. And then it sounds like the Knicks are trying to prepare for the eventual return of Landry Shamet. And if that's the case, signing any one of these players makes sense. You sign them, you keep them on the roster for a few months, and then you waive them once you know Shamet is healthy and ready to return. Because the Knicks had a lot of plans with Shamet this season. He was going to be a significant piece for this bench unit. And he was going to play with Miles McBride. He was going to play with Cam Payne. He was supposed to represent and replace in some form or fashion what Dante DiVincenzo was giving us. But when he got injured, the Knicks continued to scramble. They're still looking for that shooter, and they're still looking to add somebody to this team. But now we know. Maybe they already know who that shooter is. Maybe they know exactly who they want to add to this team. Maybe they already had the conversation with that player, but we don't know any of that information right now. The only thing we know is the reason that they're waiting is because the longer they wait, the closer they get to November 5th, the less money they have to pay these players. And the less money the Knicks have to pay players, the more money they have under the second apron. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but when you stay under the second apron, it means good things for you and your franchise. You avoid every single penalty. You're able to still be a little bit flexible, and maybe in the future, you can still make moves, still make trades, and not have to worry about anything regarding cap. That's how you know you have a competent front office, when you're not worried about the moves, you're not worried about the trades, and you're not ever talking about or even worried about the cap, because you trust in Leon Rose. You trust in this Knicks front office. You trust in our capologist and Brock Aller. And if you have that level of faith, there's no reason to be concerned, because you know come November 5th, when you look at this roster again, not only will we have 14 players on this team, we will have 14 players that if they're put out there on the court, they will have an impact. They will do something worthwhile for this team. Leon Rose only adds players to this roster that will have an impact in some way in the future. So you can bet that that's exactly what's going to happen come November 5th. But what about you guys? What do you think about these latest reports indicating that the main reason the Knicks are waiting to convert Ariel Hukporti to a standard NBA contract and add another veteran player to this roster is because they want to make sure they save money and have even more money to save under the second apron? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.